We're going to be making some pizza today. So for that, first I'm using the Farina flour. So this is the 00 grade flour, which is suitable for making pizza and pasta. So I'm weighing up the ingredient. So I want totally 350 grams of the flour. So I want a combination of different flours, but the majority is going to be this flour because it's well elastic and has a good workable consistency. So I am going to go up to 300 grams of this. So you can see I got 300 grams of the flour here. So to this I'm going to be adding 50 grams of the rest of the flours. I'm going to add some wholemeal flour because obviously the 00 flour does not have any fiber in it, and for that reason the health benefits of that are minimum. So with this it's 330 now. So I'm also going to be adding some fine semolina for texture. I'm going to be adding totally 50 grams. So that's 350 grams now. To this, just going to give it a gentle mix. So form a little well in the center. I'm going to be adding some yeast. So a sachet of 7 grams of yeast. I'm just going to add it to the center of the well. And for it to do the fermentation, we want a tiny bit of sugar. So I'm adding a teaspoon of sugar. And then add some warm water to it to get it started. So you can separately have the yeast raising and then add in the liquid, but you can also add it straight to the flour. So the amount of water will depend upon the types of flours, the combination and the weight that you're using, but you want a smooth flour, so you mix it as you go on. Until you have a smooth elastic dough. So you can use your hands to make the dough as well. Finish it off, and you need an elastic dough of this consistency. So what I'm going to do is pull the ends together, make it into a smooth dough ball like so, and I have a moistened towel. Just leave it over that and leave it to rise for about an hour and come back to work with it. Prepared here a rolling pin which has been dusted with flour and a surface for this. So you can see this is the dough that we prepared before. So I'm just knocking back all the air from it. So it's risen well, as you can see. I'm just going to scoop all of that out on to the surface and knead it for some time. After it's been kneaded for a good 5 minutes, it becomes a smooth elastic dough. So I've got 3 pizza plates of various sizes. So I'm going to divide these into 3 portions. And then roll them out into discs. So on a lightly flat surface, I'm just going to roll out a circle. Of fairly uniform thickness. So I've got the plates here. So I've got a plate here which has been oiled, and I'm just going to fit it into that plate after the roughly rolled out disc. So make sure the ends are not too thick, so they need to cook in the same time as the rest of the pizza. So having smoothed it out with a generous amount of olive oil, so give it a good brush. It helps it to cook along, and over that you can have a topping of your choice. So for the base, I'm going to be using first a green pesto. Again, make sure that you got enough of a spread there over the entire surface. All the way up to the end. And over that, you can add a topping of your choice. So you can have a variety of this. So I'm going to add first some chopped garlic, which will roast in the oven cooking time. And I'm going to have some yellow peppers to give it some taste. Then I've got some cherry tomatoes. And some mushroom which has been chopped. It's a mixed vegetable pizza, and the most important key ingredient, which will not be a surprise, is I'm using a mixture of two cheeses today, some cheddar as well as red Leicester. You can also use mozzarella, and you can never put on too much cheese on a pizza. So all this will melt down. Make sure you get some underneath the vegetables, otherwise the whole thing will just slide off in a layer away once it's cooked. And this will cook down. So we're going to put it into a warmed oven for about 20 minutes at 160 degrees or 170 degrees, depending on if it's a fan assisted oven or not. So you can also create a pizza with different toppings and different bases. So we'll just see how we can do that. So I've got a medium-sized pizza tray here. So you can see the dough is elastic and lends itself to work well to the shape of the tray. So make sure you sort the thickness into a uniform thickness so it cooks at the same time. So I'm just going to mark in the middle. So I'm going to be varying two different toppings here. So first on one side, make sure you have a layer of olive oil, well coated so it can cook well. On both sides, all the way up to the ends. And over this, on one half, I'm going to be having hummus, and on the other side, I'm going to have green pesto. This is useful if you have children of varying tastes who'll eat one or the other. So I'm just going to spread it in 1/2 respectively. Just roughly spread it all the way up to the end in both the halves. So over that, first get a little bit of cheese, and then I'm going to be using ham as a topper. So ham and pineapple is quite a popular combination, but I'm not using pineapple today. So this is just chopped pieces of ham. You can use any cooked meat of your choice. You can use strips of chicken, you can use seafood of any kind which will cook fast, shellfish, prawn, lobster meat, crab meat. So you can use your creativity, or any other cooked meat as well. So I'm just going to create an edge of vegetables. A sprinkle of the chopped garlic and the tomatoes. I'm going to put you can see the pizza cooking in there. So I've got 3 different ones with 3 different toppings. So we'll give it the requisite time. I put it in a warmed oven for 12 minutes at 170 on oven setting. So we'll give this a while and see how it's cooked. So I've just got this out of the oven. So we can get this off. So it's cooked well, and so there we go. So now we can cut these into slices. You can add oregano or any Italian spice during the cooking process if you wished. This is ready for serving, and no amount of cheese that you put will be adequate because it will always show up to be. So you can see that the dough is risen well, and there's the tasty pizza. I hope you enjoy. So this is the larger pizza with the ham topping and the vegetables in the corner. So we're just going to divide it along the previous line that we had marked, and you can see the pesto topped one on this side, and on the other side with the hummus. So you can use the dedicated pizza sauce or any other topping to create the pizzas. You can also use the pizza runner. So you can see the oiling makes it easier to get the pizza off the tray. And that's again a well cooked pizza. You can see the bread's well cooked and the ham and the vegetables are cooked as well. So I hope you enjoy.